add the packaging cost is.
Hello friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Betty Otto, and on this channel I share videos on food and business. Hit the subscribe button, then turn on your notification bell also so that when I post new videos, you'll be informed. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you the A to Z of peanut business. So if you're thinking of starting a peanut business, this video is for you. I'll be sharing with you one of my peanut recipes. I'll also be telling you why you should start a peanut business, how you can start a peanut business, and then I will help you out with a costing or how to price your peanut business. And I also have some tips on how to market your peanut business. So if you're thinking of starting a peanut business, then this video is for you. Grab your notepad, your pen, your favorite peanut snack, and let's dive into the world of peanut entrepreneurship. So why should you start a peanut business? Number one reason is that there is high demand for peanuts. In fact, as you're watching me right now, you're probably eating peanuts because almost every family, at least majority of people, love to eat peanuts. Children love it, adults eat peanuts. So there is a high demand, which makes it a lucrative business if you start it right. So one of the reasons why you should start a peanut business is because there's high demand for it. Another reason why you should start a peanut business because of the low startup cost. In fact, you just need groundnuts, a few ingredients, and then you can start this business. Basically, you don't need to start up, you don't need to buy so much equipment and a lot. The startup cost is actually low. Peanut business typically requires a low investment and overhead cost. Number three is easy production. The production process for peanuts is quite easy, and you can easily scale up your peanut business. So you don't need so much heavy equipment. The process is quite easy, and it's also easy to transfer the knowledge to your staff. So this is an easy business to start. Another reason is that it has a stable shelf life. This will allow you to reduce the risk of food waste and also help you to manage your inventory easily. So if you're thinking of a business to start, then you should give the peanut business a try. Peanut is a healthy snack. People are actually looking for healthier snack alternatives. Now I'll be moving on to the next point, which is how to start a peanut business. The first step is market research. You need to find out or make a research concerning your target audience. Who are you targeting? Concerning your competition, what are they currently doing? What are the options or the different kinds of peanuts and the different sizes in the market? To have an idea of your market, to also have an idea of your target market, you have to research, you have to find out what is actually working, the different flavors in the market, and also find out how you can improve on what is currently available in the market. You also have to make a research of the demand. What is the level of demand in your location? Then, who are your potential competitors in your area? Find out also what they're doing wrong and ways you can come into the market with a better offer, better packaging, and ask people questions. Okay, people that are already buying this product, maybe when you go to a supermarket or you see people in the market, ask questions to people who have tried out different peanut products. Find out, make a detailed research so that when you're coming, you are coming out loud, you're coming out prepared. Okay, so the first step is always to do a market research. You have to create your business plan. Your business plan, you're going to outline your goals, outline your target audience. Who are the people you are targeting? Remember, you've already done your research. You outline your budget, your startup cost, your pricing strategy, your marketing plan, and everything that you need to include in your business plan. You also make projections or a forecast of how much you intend to earn and what is the future of the company, how far is the company going. So basically, make a research on how to write a proper business plan. It doesn't have to be voluminous, like maybe 30 pages. It could just be a brief outline or a plan of where you intend the company to grow, and all these things are also outlined. The next step you want to consider is the legal considerations. At this point, you have to register your business name. Okay, decide. Here in Nigeria, business registration is done in CAC. Decide to register your business. Decide the name you intend your business to answer, registering your business with CAC. Also, go further to register a trademark. So registering your business makes people know that this business is a legal entity and you have the right to conduct business, let's say in Nigeria where we are, or anywhere in the world. Then you can also further get a trademark, because trademark is superior to CAC registration. But you can start with your business name registration depending on the company you want, whether it's a company or just business name. Register with CAC, then you can, with time, you can go and do your trademark registration. Also consider doing your NAFDAC registration, because if you intend to sell this product to the public, then you should think of registering your products with NAFDAC. I have created over 14 videos in the NAFDAC playlist here on my channel that will guide you on everything you need to know and do concerning registering your product with NAFDAC. So you want to check out that playlist. I will also attach it here in the description box. Register with NAFDAC, then do all the things you need to do legally so that you don't get into trouble with the law. So at this stage of legal considerations, that's what you get to do. The next step is the location. Now, people do businesses online. You don't really need to probably rent a shop space when starting out. If you have the money, that's a good one. We can start from where you are and sell online, right? But you have to have an online presence, marketing online, so you're able to get a production space. So decide whether you want to have an online store or you want to have a physical store. But the truth is, even if you have a physical store, you have to have a strong online presence. Okay, I also have another video in my business playlist where I detailed how you can grow your business with social media. You want to check that video out. Then the reason why location is important is because of visibility and accessibility. For people to see you, for people to know you, and then for people to easily access your product. So you think of where you want to do that from. And another aspect of how to start your business is your suppliers. You have to source for suppliers of your product. But whatever you're doing, make sure you're using high quality ingredients, because the quality of ingredients you use will definitely affect the end product, which is your peanut. So if you use groundnuts that is bad or rotten, it will definitely affect your peanut. And you want to be known for quality products so that people will always come to you. You don't want people to buy your peanut product and then they are complaining, or they are probably looking for some, and they'll begin to tell people, you know, it's easier to spread bad news about a business or about the product. They'll begin to tell people, please don't buy this product. So make sure you're using high quality ingredients. So you would need to source for suppliers. People that you're sure would give you products all year round. Source for suppliers, and it's always good not to have just one particular supplier. Go to the market, make inquiries. If possible, think of how you can also buy some of these ingredients in bulk. Currently, prices of things are going up. The last few weeks back, a bag of flour was about 37,500, and I'm hearing it's going up by the day. So there are so many things you need to buy in bulk, especially because now we're going into the festive season, Christmas season. People are going to, there's no better time to start this peanut business than now, because a lot of people will need your peanut business, okay, for hampers and all that. Then next is your tools and equipment. Like I mentioned earlier, you don't need so much for this starting period, except of course you have the money. Why not go for it? A friend of mine mentioned that she was gifted a peanut machine like that rolls, because the difficult part of this peanut business is the rolling of the groundnuts, okay, coating the groundnuts with the flour. So if you can get that equipment, she said it was for about 250,000 naira. I'm sure probably by the time you check different markets, maybe in Lagos and all that, in some places on nature, you will get something cheap that will help you to roll the peanut, because the major challenge is just the rolling of the peanut, especially when you decide to go into bulk purchase. So those are the things you need to check out. Check out for the tools you need that will make life easier for you. There are some other little things like measuring cups, measuring scale. Then you also, in your tools and equipment, you think of also the packaging material that you're going to be using. So in this area of equipment, think of the easiest and cheapest equipment that you can use to start. Then you can easily scale up. So if you're just starting out and you don't have money to get all those other bigger equipments I talked about, start small. Like I'll be showing you the recipe. Just start small. Maybe as you grow, you can now buy equipment. Next aspect of starting your peanut business is choosing your own recipe and flavors. Yes, I'll be giving you a recipe today, which is one of the recipes I use. In fact, the peanuts I'm going to be using to teach you today is an order from a client. Okay, so I use the exact recipe, but you can find ways of adding maybe a small flavor that will make your own peanut taste different. You can also research online. There are also other recipes you can add up, remove some things that will just make your own peanut to stand out. So at this point, you have to decide the recipe and the flavors you intend to offer, the different sizes, whether you want to do 200 gram or the small sachet or the 1 liter bottle, all that. At this stage, you also decide what the offerings, your recipes, the flavors, and the size offerings you'll be giving to your market. You will have to consider is branding and packaging. Okay, branding is just about the impression people or customers have about your product, and you want to make sure that it is a positive impression or a positive image, how the customers see you. So in branding, you have to choose your brand identity, your brand tone, the colors, the stickers, whatever you're going to be using. Let it just be unique. Just like when you see Coca-Cola or their logo, you know this is Coca-Cola. So you think of ways you can brand your peanut business, even the sizes, even the packaging. Do you intend to use pouches? Are you going to be using bottles? Are you going to be using nylon? It depends on what you want to use. So at this stage, sit down, decide what you want to do, your branding, your packaging, and make sure it's unique. Make sure your branding and packaging is appealing, is attractive. So the next is production and quality control. So you have to set out a production space, even if it's in your house or wherever you intend to do your production. When you're just starting out, set out a space for it and make sure that you're following the food safety guidelines. Like one of the food safety rules or regulation is that when you want to package people's food, make sure your hand is clean. Better still, use hand gloves. For instance, after frying your peanuts, I actually worked in a company, a multi-million food company, and I learned a whole lot. I had a South African boss. My bosses was also from Kenya. So he was the one that brought or drove this point home, right? He said, when you're in doubt, trash it. So don't use bad products. When it comes to quality control, make sure that you are setting critical control points where you will check the integrity of your peanuts, whether it's the mixing stage, at the mixing stage, the frying stage, the preparation, the production, the packaging. Make sure that you're following these guidelines, these food safety rules. You can check online to download them or you read about them. There are certain things you shouldn't do when handling food. So make sure that the food that is going out there is safe for people to consume. And that's one of the reasons why we are asked to go and do NAFDAC registration, because NAFDAC will also conduct their tests of your end product. They will check your process and be sure that you're meeting the food safety guidelines, right? But when you're just starting out, okay, testing the market, make sure that whatever you're doing is safe for people to consume. You don't want people to have food poisoning because they ate your peanut product. Implement strict quality control measures. Emphasis on strict, to maintain the consistency and the quality of your product. So as a manager in the food company that I worked, one of our roles was to enforce quality control, to ensure that the staff, they are producing the products in line with the company recipes and that people are not skipping the product. There is the rule of the recipe and there's also a process. Okay, so it's not just maybe measuring the ingredients alone, but you have to follow the process for production strictly, and if you don't, you are going to be penalized. So that was one of the ways how we're enforcing quality control, enforcing and making sure that the quality, the consistency of the product is the same across boards. So make sure that you're maintaining your quality and maintaining the consistency of your peanuts at all times. Another aspect is you have to also determine your distribution. How do you intend to distribute your peanut product? Are you going to be distributing it through retail marketing or wholesale purchases alone through supermarkets? How do you intend to distribute your products? So that's another aspect in which you need to consider. Next is marketing and promotion. I've done a video on marketing, how you can promote your business through social media. You need to check that video out. Marketing basically will help customers know about your product, and most likely might lead to a sale because they would want to try out this product. So make sure that you're marketing right. And some of the ways I would advise, especially for peanuts, for me, I market to supermarkets, even retail sellers around you, people that sell things maybe in smaller stores or supermarkets along the streets. You can also go to bigger supermarkets, of course. Then another way you can market your product is through social media. So another marketing tip I would want to share with you is to join a group in your location. So basically, there are some influencers that manage vendors in most locations. For instance, where I am, I even had to pay 10,000 naira to join that group. So most times it's a paid community, most times it's a free community. So most of my sales I got because I relocated, I changed location. So this tip also works, especially if you're just moving into that location. Look for influencers that already have a vendors group and join that group, even if it means paying for the group. The reason being that there they advertise products. So every day we post pictures of products. Like this particular group, we're 800 and something. I know a lot of cake orders that I've gotten in this new location because I had to build new clients here. I also know I've sold I also do a t-shirt business, of course. I know some of the things I've sold through this group. So this is another major way to grow your peanut business. Then influencer marketing. Please jump in on this. Most influencers, you just have to send them your product. Most influencers, you have to collaborate with them. Some you have to pay. So just find out an influencer that has your target audience, and there are different levels of influencing and different levels of influencers, okay? So one that you can afford and also put out a word there. The basic thing is just marketing your product and letting people get to know you and then eventually buy your product. Then we have also word of mouth marketing. Tell people this is what I do. Then another thing that works well is you have to give out some of your products for free. So you can have little tester sessions where you probably go to an event, you tell people, okay, this is what I do at this. So as they taste the product, they can always order more. So these are my few tips that has helped me in marketing. Ensure to engage with your customers. When you eventually start getting customers, make sure you're engaging with them. Check out their feedbacks and make sure you're improving on the negative feedbacks while looking for ways to even get better on the positive feedbacks, either maintaining it or getting better. Record keeping and financial management is also key for your business to grow. Keep accurate record. Accurate record keeping is very important because even when you want to go for grants, most banks or most investors, they want to see how far you have gone. They want to see the numbers on the book. So you don't just wake up and do things anyhow. Make sure you're keeping record, accurate book keeping, okay, of your products and what you're doing. With these steps, you can start out your peanut business and grow from there. Then I'll be going into the crux of the matter, which is basically a simple way that you can cost and probably price your products. I actually have my masterclass students and I'll be teaching you some of the things that I teach them in costing and pricing. If you would want to join my food costing and food pricing masterclass, then send me an email. My email will be on the screen and also in the description box. So let's jump into it. Let's go into the costing and pricing section. So before we start the costing, I'll show you how I made the peanut that we are going to be using for the costing class or the costing session, okay? So this is the yield of the peanuts. I used half bucket of groundnut and it gave me this yield of a bucket after frying, a custard bucket. Okay, so all the ingredients you need will be in the costing class. You will see it on the board. So the first thing I did was to measure out all the ingredients: flour, sugar, the baking powder, vanilla flavor, cinnamon flavor, and groundnuts. I also weighed the groundnuts. Then I divided the groundnut into 2 parts. I also divided the flour into 2 parts because it will be a bit difficult to roll the whole of this 1.7 kg of groundnut in one bowl. Okay, so I also divided the baking powder and added it to the different containers of flour, that's into 2. Then I divided the groundnut into 2. Then next, you break up the eggs and add your sugar, vanilla flavor, salt, and cinnamon powder. Mix it thoroughly and also divide it into 2. Okay, so the whole recipe, you'll find it in the costing class. It's on the board there, like I said earlier. Then the main part is the rolling of these peanuts. Okay, so that's the area that requires a lot of strength. So you require strength. Sometimes your shoulder will even pain you, but like I said earlier, if you can afford, if you intend to go into this as a long-term, a business, and you want to do it full-time, you can save up and buy the peanut roller. I'm sure there will also be other cheaper machines, right? So here I've already divided the liquid mixture into 2. So you just start by adding some of the liquid that contains the egg and all the other ingredients into the peanuts, turn it, and then you start sprinkling and adding the flour. So because I was doing a lot, I had to divide it into 2. But as I proceeded further, it became more heavier, so I had to also divide it further. The idea is to make sure that all the flour enters into it. Okay, so you just keep repeating the process until all the egg enters, all the liquid mixture enters in, and then also the flour, you use up all. Okay, so that's basically what you keep doing. Keep rolling it and turning it, and you repeat the entire process for the whole batch of groundnut, and that's it, and you have your peanuts. So that's it. So this is me here trying to separate because there will be some flour remaining in the bowl. I was trying to separate the peanut from the flour because you don't need all that, so that it doesn't stain your oil so much that you have to start thinking of using more oil. Okay, so that's basically what I did here, and I'll be showing you the final yield of this peanuts. So after the rolling of the peanuts, see the yields or the quantity of peanuts I had. I also had these remaining particles and all that. So basically you can still reuse this to fry pancake or something. Just remove the groundnut particles. So it's time to fry. I just showed you the oil I use, King's oil, the sachet. Make sure your oil is hot. Then you put in, not too hot, you put in the peanut, fry at medium heat, okay, so it doesn't burn fast. Then fry until it is golden brown and your peanut is ready. So after everything, the whole frying process, I had to also weigh the peanuts because we are going to be using the peanuts in the costing class. So the peanut weighed 2.8 kg. So I took out some peanuts into this bowl for a better presentation and also for snapping, to use as for my thumbnail for this video and all that. Then this is me trying to weigh the peanuts, and he gave me 2.8 kg. So let's jump into the costing class. So this is the costing class. Okay, these are the list of ingredients we use for the peanut recipe I just taught you, right? Then this is the weight and the quantity of items that we used. Then this is the costing. So we are doing a proper costing for the peanuts. We are going to calculate the cost of the groundnuts now. 1.7 kg of groundnut costs 2,000. Basically, the custard bucket cost between 3,700 to 4,000 naira. So half of it was what I used, which is 2,000 naira. Then we're going to calculate the cost of flour. Okay, so flour, I used 1.3 kg, and 1 kg of flour is 800 naira. 1.3 kg. You just multiply 1.3 kg times 800 naira. So this is how we know those that enjoyed math. This is a practical class. So 1.3 times 800 is 1,040 naira. So this is the cost of the flour we used, 1,040 naira. Then the cost of 1 kg of sugar is 1,000 naira. Okay, so all we need to do is to convert these 300 grams to kilogram. If it was 3 kg, you can just multiply 3 by 1,000 and you get the cost of 3 kg of flour. But now it is in grams, so we just convert this to kilograms. So kilogram is just basically dividing 300 grams over 1,000. So 0.3 kg times 1,000 will give you the cost. So if you do 0.3 kg times 1,000 naira, it will give us 300 naira. Then egg, I bought a crate of egg for 300 naira. So it means 1 egg is 100 naira. Egg is so expensive. Now let me know in the comment section how much they're selling egg in your area. So it means 1 egg is 100 naira. So for 7 eggs is 700 naira. Rest. Okay, groundnut oil, 1 liter currently is, if you're buying from a retail place or retail shop, they sell it at 1.6, but I bought a carton of 1 liter groundnut oil. It's 12 pieces, so 17,000 divided by 12, so 1,416. But when you're buying from retailers, you get about 1,600. So 1,416. I can approximate it. 1,420. Okay. Then we need to calculate the cost of baking powder, cinnamon flavor, vanilla flavor, and salt. So the salt I use, 1 kg of this salt is 250 naira. So 1 kg of salt, 250 naira, and it's about 28 mils. 350 naira. Then it was 1,500 and it's 92 grams. So for cinnamon flavor, 92 grams equals to 1,500. Then baking powder is 454 grams and it costs 1,300. 1,300. This is a mathematics class. So the cost of 1 crate of eggs, is 3,000 naira. Okay, so 3,000 naira, it simply means that 1 egg is 100 naira. If you divide 3,000 over 30 pieces of egg, okay, 1 crate of egg is 30 pieces of egg, so it gives you 100 naira. So 100 naira times 7 pieces of eggs is 700 naira. That's how I got this. Then to ascertain baking powder, I just showed you 454 grams of baking powder cost 1.3, and we used 20 grams. So the easy way to do this is to divide 1.3 over 454 grams. It will now give us the cost of 1 gram of baking powder. So when we get 1 gram of baking powder, we can easily multiply the cost of 1 gram of baking powder by 20 and we get this. So that's the powder. So if I do the calculation, the cost of one gram, if you divide 1/3 over this, will give you 2.864. 20 grams times the cost of 1 gram will give us 57 naira. $28. So we can just make it approximately 58 naira. Okay, then we'll do the same for cinnamon flavor. 1500 divided by 92 times, we use 5 grams of cinnamon powder. It will give us, it's 1.52, so naira. So I can say it's 2 naira. Then for vanilla flavor, it's a lot easier because this particular bottle, I checked, it gives about 3 tablespoons, and 1 tablespoon is 10 grams. Okay, so it's just like dividing this 350 by 3 to get 1 portion, about 1 tablespoon. Okay, this 28 ml is about 3 tablespoons of vanilla flavor, and I use 1 tablespoon, so it's a lot easier. So we just divide 350 divided by 3 and we get 116 naira plus 6 kobo, so we can make 117 naira. Then it's time for salt. So please just take time and keep watching this video till you understand, but this is basic or fundamental mathematics that you should know, or you could read more about it to understand how I came about these calculations. So now the unit of measurement for this salt is 1 kg, and what we use is in grams. This one was easier because this was in grams, this was in grams. It's easier to divide this by this. Okay, but just like in sugar that had 300 grams and this one is in 1 kg, like the price, we have to convert this to kg. So we have to convert this salt also to kg. 10 over 1000, which is 0.01 kg times 250. Okay, so it's just 2 naira 50 kobo. So we can just write 3 naira or 5 naira approximately. Okay, 2 naira 50 is 3 naira. So this is the accurate costing. So let's add up everything. We have 2000 naira plus 1040 plus 300 plus 700 plus 58 plus 82 plus 117 plus 3 plus 1420. So this is going to give you 5,720 naira. So this is the cost of the peanuts we made. And remember that the peanuts we made was the yield after weighing the final product. Okay, I'm sweating. After weighing the final product, we had 2.8 kg of toasted peanuts. So the cost of 2.8 kg of the final peanuts is 5,729. So whatever you want to sell this at, you will definitely have to sell it more than the cost. And remember, this is not even the only cost. I did not include packaging here because you might decide to use different, let's say for this 2.8 kg, you might decide to use different kinds of packaging, maybe nylon bottles for this same 2.8 kg. So this is just the cost without packaging and maybe other incurred costs and all that. So this is the food cost calculation. So 2.8 kg of peanuts, the yield, 2.8 kg of peanuts cost 5,720 naira to produce it. That is the cost minus the packaging material. So you still have to include the packaging cost you intend to use for each. So if you want more details on this costing, join my food costing and pricing masterclass, and you will learn a whole lot. Actually, we are going to be doing it on Excel sheets. You don't have to go through this. You just put in the formulas and it will calculate it. And you have that template for life. You use it to calculate all your products. You put in the ingredients, the weight, calculate it for you automatically. And the costing is 5,720 naira. Okay, so the packaging cost is not here. And the reason I didn't add the packaging cost is you might decide to use different packagings. You might decide to use different containers or nylon or paper to pack this. It may not be the same packaging, so the cost may vary. So, but let's assume that the cost of this packaging, to package this, let's just assume that the cost of packaging, which includes the stickers, the rubber, if you're going to the containers, okay, depending on what you want to use to package your peanuts, let's just assume that the cost for packaging the whole of this is, okay, let's say 580 naira. So we have equal to this plus this is really difficult cleaning this, but I just have to clean it so that I can explain further about costing. But you can screenshot it, or something. Acceptable food cost calculation and pricing for food products can vary depending on the type of food service establishment, your location, your target market, and other factors. However, there are some general guidelines or formulas that can help to determine the price and also help you to manage your food cost. So this is the food cost. So one thing we're going to try to achieve now is the food cost percentage. For this, what we just calculated, right? So food cost percentage, the formula is simply the total cost divided by the total food sales. That is how much you eventually sell the peanuts times 100. Okay, so now the total cost of these ingredients we've calculated, okay, is 6,300. Then let's say we decide to sell these peanuts at 12,600 naira times 100. It will give us 50%. Percentage is equal to 50%. This peanut, don't sell it below 12,600. Generally, the world best practice, they would even tell you acceptable food cost is like 30%. So you're supposed to sell these peanuts more than that. But depending on some of the factors I explained, your target market, your location, the target market, the quality of customers you're selling to, even the quality of the product, and a lot of things, your packaging and all that will determine the price, because you're the one eventually that will determine the price at which you sell your products, basically. But make sure that whatever price you're selling it, my bonus tip, which I always explain to my masterclass students, okay, is do not sell at a food cost higher than this, higher than 50%. Okay, so that's it. Experts or bonus advice is whatever price you decide to sell, you're the one that will eventually determine the price you want to sell your product. Okay, do not sell at a food cost higher than this. In other words, do not sell at a price that is lower than this. You need to make reasonable profit, right? That would help you sustain your business. So if you're selling at a high food cost, in other words, if the cost of your materials is so high, okay, or you're selling at a lower price, it will affect your profit. So if your food cost percentage is like 60%, 70%, 80%, it means you're going to be making small profit and which may not be able to sustain your business. Remember, you're going to pay salaries. Remember, you're going to do other overhead costs. Remember, you're going to also pay yourself. Remember that you need to expand the business. You need to buy equipment, tools, and all that. So whatever price you're selling, the world accepted price, most times they will tell you 30%, between 25, 30, 35%, which means you're going to sell at a price higher than this. But my expert advice is whatever price you decide to sell, you're still the one that will determine your price. You might even want to sell these peanuts and make only 2,000 naira. Especially some bakers too, they will sell at a price that would kill the business. But this is my own expert advice. As you grow in your business, you understand that you shouldn't sell higher than a food cost percent of 50. Okay, but there are sometimes you may want to go lower. Maybe you're selling from the house, maybe you want to do one promo or the other, but this is just my own expert tips. Different experts too would have what they will tell you. But then in the masterclass I told you about, we use a system, a laptop. I will calculate all the formulas in Excel sheets. So it's not going to be difficult this way, right? And every product you sell, even if you're selling a goosey, you're selling zobo, you're selling tiger nut juice, that masterclass is for you because you'll be able to calculate it in Excel sheet for all your individual products. Then I will also give you acceptable food costs at which you sell the items. So it's just a hands-on practical class that will help you understand these formulas better. And let me know in the comment section or send me an email if you'd want to be part of the masterclass. You will agree with me that this is a full course, a full online course on starting a peanuts business. If you enjoyed this video, kindly subscribe to my channel, hit the notification button. The things I shared in this video, a lot of people you have to pay a price to be able to attend it as a course, but I'm giving out this value. So the little I ask of you is please share my video, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification button. Thank you for watching.